What's up everybody, it's Mike back again today, MF Vape. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Right, today guys, we've got an RSA. There's no RDA involved with this one because there's no regular 510 pin. It's just got this squonk pin installed. This is a single coil affair and it's made by a company called Vpdam and it's called the Gokon. Here it is. I've got the stainless steel version. Single coil, airflow just from the one side on this particular one. Sitting on top of the Arctic Dolphin Nita mod. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down low, show you the box that it comes in like we normally do, and then we're going to put some wicking, the build that I've already got in it, and then we're going to come back up top and I'll tell you what I really think of the Gokon RSA. Okay, see you down low in a bit. Right, we're down at the table. Here's the packaging the Vpdam Gokon, the bottom feeding RDA comes in. And I've got the stainless version indicated by this grey marker there. Now if you look on this particular box, it looks like this piece would be removable, but I haven't for the life been able to actually remove it. I'll show you up close. Right, also inside the box we have this tri-tool. There's this coil that comes with it, which is a nice touch. 2 gold-plated flathead grub screws and 2 O-rings. Right, here is the Gokon RDA. So we'll just have a quick look at the drip tip. You can see there's like some lines on top here. It's slightly rough, it's not too bad. But it's an 810 fitting drip tip. There's a lot of plastic to have in your mouth though. You can see that for a really wide drip tip, the actual bore is quite narrow, and it does taper down even narrower on the bottom there, which should aid with the flavour, but I just find that this drip tip is a little bit too uncomfortable in actual usage. So you can just see here we've got an O-ring inside, so that means all of your goon size 810 fitting tips will fit. Now I've been using this one that came with the MF Vape lit RDA, and I've been getting on well with this particular one. So we can see you've got this design here. It's a one-piece top cap, this one. We've got the 2 airflow slots here, and I'll show you on the mod in a minute that in action. We've got Gokon BF RDA laser etch on the bottom, designed and manufactured by Vpdam, and then we have a serial number there, a couple of markings. We've also got a gold-plated flathead screw here, which is used for making sure that your negative post is actually tightened down. Now here's your positive pin, which is a bottom feeding squonk pin, and you can unscrew it using a flathead screwdriver. Now it's surrounded with a peak insulator also. Now you can see that the actual squonk pin doesn't protrude that much, but as you're not going to be using a regular 510 with this, you're not going to be trying it out on an actual hybrid device anyway. So we'll just put it on the Rage squonk device now. Just have a look at this airflow more closely. So this is fully adjustable, so you can have it open on both sides. Now obviously there's no airflow on this side too, because it's just single coil. But you can adjust these slots round, so you can have it like partially open or completely shut off, and it does stop. And then you can undo it, same on both sides. Have it fully open and keep on going, and it will stop again. And then that means you can undo it from the mod because of the stoppers on it. So we'll just take this top cap off. Have a look inside the barrel section. So you can see we have got some doming on here. It's a nice thick piece of stainless steel, this one as well. If you just notice here, there's a little notch here. And I'll show you what you do with that. If you notice on the actual deck, which is a fully gold-plated deck, you have to line that up to make sure it's in the actual groove, and then you can push it down and it will go on. So have a look at this deck in a bit more detail. So there is this O-ring that goes around the bottom here. This is a 24mm device, by the way. Now the interesting part here is the airflow. Like, you can see that they're actually in slots, but it actually sort of goes down at the angle and sort of over as well. It's a really bizarre design, this airflow, and it's quite hard to pick up on camera. But the same on both sides. Now if you actually have a look at the deck, you see I've already got a coil in here because it's really easy to build this one. 2 flathead screws. Trim down your coil legs and then get it into the center. I can't remember the actual leg length of the coils. You'll have to just sort of measure it by eye. And that's the core positioning that I found the best flavour on this particular one. So if you have a look on that side, it's just about 1 millimetre or 2 below the top of the deck. Now to have a look at that airflow, basically it's just a slot. Just about pick it up. Just underneath there, you've just got a slot. So even though you've got these 2 slots on the outside, that goes through at the angle on both sides and then comes out with just this 1 slot in the center. So I've just got the coil positioned so that the airflow is hitting just the bottom underside of the coil. So fully gold plated screws as well, which is not ideal, but that's what we've got. There isn't much of a juice well, as you can actually see here either, but the fact that it's a 1-piece top cap and you have got the lip around the bottom means when you actually put the top cap back on, it does mean that the juice well goes up to about here, really, where the airflow slots are. So yeah, it's not the deepest in the well, but it's adequate for squonking. Right, the coil I've got is a tricore fused Clapton. I think it's a nichrome one actually, and this is a 2.5mm in a diameter coil. So you can use 3mm if you like. This is just what I've been preferring. Right, let's give it a little squonk now. It just shows you can actually squonk quite hard because the way that airflow is actually situated, it actually has to come up to actually come out the hole. So it's quite a good design in that respect. And there you have it. The coil is nicely saturated now. So we can put the top cap back on and then go up top, and I'll tell you what I think about the Gokon RDA. Back up top, guys, we have the Gokon RSA. Now I've borrowed the drip tip that came with the Horus by Vapefly, put it on this Anita mod, and now I've got something that actually matches it. So that red drip tip that I thought would never match anything, I now have got something, so I'm very happy. The only thing is though, with this Gokon, you've got the gold ring round the bottom there, so it doesn't actually match. So yeah, it's just a little bit of a shame, that is. But they like using this gold plating on the decks these days, don't they? But anyway, that is a bit of a pro, to tell the truth, having that lip on it, because it means that the juice is less likely to actually leak out of it. So that is the first pro for this actual RSA. Now I'll just give you another pull on this, I think, just so you can listen to the sound effects. Right, let's make sure it's got some juice in it. It does squonk really well though, by the way, this one. You don't want to over squonk, because there is a tendency you can get it coming out of the airflows if you do it a little bit too hard. But anyway, that should be about ready now. So we've got it at, it's a 0.18 build, and I've got it at 50 watts on the Anita mod. Here we go. Right, as you can hear, the airflow on this isn't particularly very smooth. Now it's probably because we've got it sort of angled in, and then it just looks a bit awkward before it actually gets to the coils, because it's sort of angled in, then it has to go out and then up again. And also with the actual deck, you can see around the back of the post, like the air can actually travel around there as well. And I just think it's just flying all over the place, and it actually feels like that when you're vaping it too. So I'll just give you another example. We've got the airflow fully open. Don't get me wrong though, you get a nice satisfying vape from this Gokon. But the airflow, it just feels really turbulent, and that's with it fully open. If we just adjust it round a little bit. One good thing about this though, digressing slightly, the airflow control is very smooth, and because you've got the stoppers on both ends, it's just a joy to use the airflow control. And also if you want to take it off the mod, it comes off very easily, so that's definitely a plus point. But we'll just rock it now about half open. I think the flavour might be slightly better like that, but to tell the truth, I prefer to rock it fully open because it is quite a restrictive vape on this one. But this turbulence is still there. It doesn't matter how you put the airflow, you're going to get a turbulent vape with this. And the other thing is, with the drip tip that actually comes with it, if you just look at it there, it's a really big chunky piece of Delrin. But it's got a very reduced bore, and it does taper down as well. And I just find with that on there, it doesn't work very well for me. I'm not sure quite why they used it. I think it does require one of your regular 810s, like the one that came on the Horace is like your general run-of-the-mill one, and it works perfectly well on it. But the one that comes with it just feels not very comfortable in the mouth, put it that way. But yeah, the machine quality on this is very good. The screws are really good. It's quite easy to build on this. I would suggest cutting your leads beforehand. Using the coily tools a good idea. If you can come across that one, you can purchase it on Facebook or the coily tool website. But yeah, you just want to make sure you get the coil somewhere in the center, like I've got that. Just have it raised so it's slightly above the airflow. You can experiment all you like with the coil positioning. You may get a less turbulent vape, but for me, where I had it positioned down in the up close part of the video is where I'm getting the best flavour. So you got good machine quality. I think it doesn't look too bad. It's nice and short and stubby, so it looks pretty good on most devices I've put it on. But it is a con that it doesn't come with a regular 510 pin. If you wanted to put it in a mech mod or one of your other regulated devices, I can't believe they just didn't throw one of those in. So that is a bit of a con in my book. But for a squonking RSA, it works pretty well, and the flavour's not bad, but the turbulent airflow is a bit of a put-off for me. So that about wraps it up for this one, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up as always. And for anyone who's watching the video and you like what you see, please consider subscribing to the channel. There's plenty more reviews out there for you. Also, check out my website, mfvape.co.uk, and you can also find me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Right guys, so that's it for this one. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Okay, cheers.